Here is Raumlaborberlin. Welcome. I just wanted to begin with the beginning and ask you how it all started. What was the epiphany which led to Raumlabor?
I think it all started with us coming to Berlin, most of us coming to Berlin to study architecture there. We mostly met in a very early stage while we studied. And after the studies we had a little shop that we used as an atelier where we met most of the people that we hadn't met before, and that way it was slowly a group was shaped around that space that we had. We used that space mainly for working, but it was also an open space that once in a while we would open up to the public and invite people do some discourse or have a pin-up of designs or just a subject that we thought at the moment was interesting, and we made a small exhibition around that. Then there was one competition, I think, that gave Raumlabor the name that we took part in. It was a competition along a subway line in Berlin, where we made 3 scenarios for a public space in Berlin around Moritzplatz, and we needed a name as a group to participate in that competition. There were long discussions. In the end, we just said Raumlabor is a good name, so we put it there. And since then, the name really exists. I think the subjects and the things that we are working on slowly developed from that moment on. Everybody was also working. We never did things all together. We always met in that space and had different constellations that we worked in together. Also, a lot of other people, artists and so on, that we collaborated with. And then I think that was one big task that we got, where we needed all the energy of most of us, and that was developing urban strategies for Halle Neustadt, which is the second largest housing project of the former GDR.
And that was a commission. You were asked to come up with solutions.
Yes, it was a completely stuck situation there for the administration, and the head of the town planning office especially asked us to come up with ideas, because she knew that we wouldn't come up with the usual type of ideas. And we worked there for about 2 years. We had an apartment there where we lived there. We made a lot of research, and in the end presented quite a big study, what we thought was the right way to work. Then we made a big project there with the local theater.
Which is that festival? So
that was the festival Hotel Neustadt, where we we transformed an empty housing block with 18 stories into a hotel, temporary hotel, together with teenagers, and had a theater festival, an international happening in there. That was a kind of a plug-in system where a lot of different people could create their work, and so it was also we had different roles in that. Like Jan, for example, designed the bar with Francesco, who is not here.
We must say that it's one of the rare occasions where your whole group gathers, because that doesn't seem to happen every day. But we have one member missing. That's important.
Yeah.
Now.
So this is Francesco. Then there was a workshop that was made by Christoph and Markus and Jan. I think you were part of that workshop too, the bicycle thing. Then Matthias and I were working with the theater and were kind of the artistic directors of the whole project, and so everybody had a kind of a role in that. And then we came to what we are now and what you can see on our website and in the book that we've made and so on.
Now, one of the things which is part of the project here of this space, of this polyphonic portrait of an exhibition Katsuro Sejima invited me to do, and which is also part of the interview project in general, is protest against forgetting, and sort of also research who are maybe pioneers from the past. And so that's why also the homage to Cedric Price here. So I was wondering to which extent you were influenced by either singular figures or collectives from the past. Who are your heroes?
That's a good question, but I think Cedric Price is a good one. We like his ideas of the generator or fun palace, only to name a few. Also, of course, like many ideas from the 60s, I think, the ideas of megastructures, the ideas of people like Archigram, that are not so much related to to ideas of efficiency or of like one-to-one models that can be put into practice one-to-one, very straightforward, but that talk more about, maybe it's a dream world or another world. So it's a lot. We're very fascinated with this sphere of imagination that we think is a good part of architecture.
Your motto, no trust, no city. Can you talk about it?
Maybe I say, I think this is true. If you don't trust to the possibilities urban all-day life and urban space is offering, then city is not possible. So it's just, this is one of our main topics is this urban space, and we define city as the space between architecture, and architecture is just creating relation between different groups who are using the city. So, and this public space has to bring people together. So also people, they don't know each other, so and the people has to trust the possibilities and has to be able to live with the coincidence and also with these moments they don't expect. And if they don't do, if they just hide themselves between fences and this kind of stuff, city will not be possible. And we are not in this kind of discussion and negotiation process which is necessary to generate a society.